InShalla and Ashe. Blessings to you, my energetic beings. It is I, Tonya D. Wasn't yesterday super fun? We had some glitches in the mainframe there a little bit. But welcome to today's daily snippet. It's October 5th, 2021. So as we climb the ladder to the Libra new moon, I hope you're taking an incentive to innovate and burst out of an old relationship paradigm and authentically believe a heartfelt, actual new one in whatever house this moon is cascading through your heart. So mine is still at the edge of like my first house, not quite cascading into my second. So it's still in my relationship to myself. My character is getting upgraded or upcycled, I guess. So upcycling out of a old brand into a new one. It's kind of like when you no longer love the outfit and you're ready for a new one or a new look. Maybe all of a sudden you want to color your hair bright lime green because it makes your eye color pop. But this is all playing out in our relationships and partnerships, all of those relationship corridors. If you haven't grabbed my Musing Moon meditation, it is ready. Super stoked about that. It's a little long, I'm not going to lie. But today's elemental energies, we have this yang earth fire day, a Bingzhu. We have the two fire stems. So we have another fire, but it's an imposing fire element. It's yin, and our day is a yang day. We still got a lot of yin energy though. There's inner Kool-Aid curating here, but it's this opposing fire element. So we have one in the storage of the dog. That's considered storage at the base of this branch there. But it's also in the opposing form. It's yin energy. So this is like rivalry or a friend who's really not your friend, more of an enemy of a friend, which is sad, but maybe it's a lesson to learn in this lifetime. And our fire itself, it doesn't have any resources or support nature at all. There's not even anything hidden down below there. So it's producing and controlling the earth and also the metal. So definitely it's a nature filled day, and with water also hidden in the branch. I would utilize water energy as well, the spirits of water and nature. Nature is really just full of authentic life and vitality, you know. Go up the canyon, check out all the magical leaves, the trees. The trees are even shedding clothing for the year, letting go of their used up wardrobe, if you will. So it's a day really for grounding our spiritual energy, balancing, aligning, and even awakening our energetic centers and strengthening our connection to the realm of spirit. So we have an easier connection to kind of Jophiel with this new moon coming in the sign of Libra, new moons, right? So what is your story? Are you ready for a mountaintop view, a different perspective? I recently commented on a post, you know, it was about right or wrong or something to that narrative, but my response was that we're all right and that we are all wrong and really allow people to be their own or in their own right and in their own wrongness, or because we're both right and we're both wrong. It doesn't really matter. But our relating in the channel of beliefs is kind of switching a notch, leveling up a gear, I guess, or shifting. So today really is like a day to take note of crossing a bridge into an unpredictable field of emotions, you know, especially with moons, new moons, full moons. There's a lot of emotions anyway, but something might make you feel even more. Fear is usually the culprit that comes up. Fear is also in our root center, so ground. I'm often being told to ground, not always, but more than I care to hear it, because I feel like I'm actually pretty grounded in my beingness. Just what I'm grounding into at the current thread might be different, but emotional grounding is also a thing too. And fear often is connected to our root center. It's our feelings of safety, security, the base of our beingness. And because we're in the season we're in the cosmos, it might, or more than likely, it will be in our relationship corridor. So it could be a boss, a friend, a partner, whatever flows in, feeling or otherwise. So really stay heart-centric today, the love channel, and also the throat center, spiritual truthing. and just sit with those emotions in those two energetic centers. And what comes through is usually something you might authentically learn about yourself and your day to day or your inner world. And on a galactic scale, you might be looking through all of your relationships on planet Earth in your life, in your timeline. Um, since we kind of made our own personal proposal a few days ago, things in the outer realms, the world outside of us, might not be in alignment with our own personal proposal. So, being that you are number one in your relationship to yourself, ask, is this fair to yourself first? Or am I being fair? Does this bring me balance? Am I in neutrality? Or even, is this something I feel like I can wear? So it's like getting a new wardrobe in a funny kind of way. That's kind of how I see this whole thing playing out. But stay in your own authenticity and just be like a watcher for the day. Like, how do I feel, or how does this make me feel? Is my heart channel open to it, or is it a whisper in the dark in the winds? And you'll notice what thread is out of alignment within yourself and what channel is online in your belief system, or maybe your belief system's getting hijacked in a way. So it's kind of a liberation of an old belief, and it gets an upcycled new perspective. So the belief channel shifts a little bit, where you look at things with different eyes, if you will. So balance is really in the air. Be open in your heart channel. Be congruent with your emotional channel. So it's like being in the zone of neutrality and balancing a moving, spinning coin, spinning coin that's moving, and you're balancing it. You might find things that you are more attracted to in your heart. Explore your channels, the love channel, the value channel, the belief channel, really all of the channels, the spiritual indoctrinated channel, even expanding our options for abundance and manifesting the good juju. What does my heart believe I should change this year? So really explore all of your options and your feelings. And if fear comes up, sit with it and see where it's actually coming from. It doesn't exist, in relationships. What options do you even have there? And always, I'm just somebody who always stays curious, and I question everything, and I like to feel into whatever I'm being curied about. But be in the observation station and see what the balance is. Is it neutral? Is it deficient? Is it excessive? You might just learn a new chess move today with the people around you. What interests you and what interests somebody else might be an encouraging, optimistic venue that brings in some otherworldly perspectives. And just pay attention to the little things that really float your boat or blow your skirt up. It's happening for a reason. And with our third eye online, as we climb the cosmic ladder, love the color indigo or periwinkle, a shade for the third eye. What are some of the colors that, when you go online with your vision center, what color do you see? Sometimes it's like this dark black blue or blue black, or even a purpley black. It's really depthy, or it could be effervescent. So the seed sound for the day is Om. I often prefer the sound of silence, and unless I need to really blow my top, if you will. The sound of nature. You could shush yourself if you need to be doing that. Mostly, so you could tune in to the world or the other world, the shhhishhhing around you, and see where the misstep to your balance is, the fairness, and what that looks like. I'm creating my new moon intentions today, later in the day. So I'm super excited about that. But the animal of the day, this is going to be fun. I'm going with the dog. And of course, I had to, show my little boyfriend there, Sir Diddy. I went with the dog because today, the day master was the dog. So I thought I would go with that. And as we all know, who doesn't love a little pooch or a fur baby? But this is no time for us to be nervous and or lose control. Take a deep breath, make sure you're relaxed, and then decide the direction you need to move in. Stay true to yourself with the decision. That's what the dog says. And like I said, dogs are they're symbolic. They have a meaning as well, whether we're dreaming about them. It could whether we have a mutt, So more than any plant animal on the planet, the pooch has been the most closely linked to human beings. Even over centuries, they've played essential roles in society. They're really our companions, our partners in work and play. They're often our teachers as well. But different dogs are bred into different characters as well, like Chihuahuas. Sir Diddy's a mix between a Pomeranian and a Papillon. He's kind of lost his butterfly ears due to his little surgery. He has no teeth. My little boyfriend has no teeth. But the dog itself, it reminds us that kindness we often get or give, we often go a lot further when we're kind versus criticism, and it allows us to be gentle with those around us and even, accept the path that other people are on, whether it's the same path we are on or not. But it also reminds us that we should also be loyal and truthful to ourselves, and that we should make a point of being our own best friend, which that's kind of what I've been musing about all week, it feels like, is being your best friend to yourself, and even having self-respect and self-value where we can actually love ourselves first. So this is a trait, it's kind of essential to be of a greater substance to others and to ourselves. So when we have high self-esteem or just self-esteem in general, that's also an assurance that others will also respect us as well. But the dog also symbolizes confusion about our loyalties, beliefs, and even commitments. So when we try to be everything for everyone, we end up losing sight of who we actually are. And the only way to really resolve that condition is to put yourself first and at the forefront. Just, by letting go of everyone and everything else, we're able to piece kind of our puzzle together for what's right for us. Only with loyalty to ourselves will we actually be able to grow and move forward. Now, a puppy in symbol, a puppy in general, who doesn't love a puppy really? That's like innocence and a childlike approach to the world, and even a desire to fix other people. So it's a reminder that we can only help those who really help themselves. But it also can be a message that it's time for us to let go of all the latest fads and forms, which is interesting because I'm talking about upcycling and I'm using the wardrobe, right? So sometimes the best way to conform is to be non-conforming, which is great. Let me turn my chirpy off on my phone. And also a lap dog. And if you can't tell, Diddy totally is a lap dog, but I also have, because I'm going to be doing ritual later. There we are. I'm going to be doing this little ritual going later today with my little fire there. But a lap dog can actually represent a person who requires constant reassurance. So I don't know if that's more for Didymus or for myself. And also, somebody in your life has the unreasonable expectation of being taken care of for the rest of their life. So it would be kind of an obstacle for both of us to work through some codependency issues, or it could also symbolize the universe's reassurance that everything is actually as it should be. And Diddy being a Pomeranian, he is totally a lap dog and a Papillon. But there's a variety of different dogs on the web. You can check out different meanings of different dogs. Dog is a spirit animal, It really is just unconditional love, the best friend, compassion, and all the good things that animals bring. So, the little dog totem. There's my boyfriend. I could have probably talked about more of the poochies, but let's go here. Uh-oh, why am I? Here we go. There I am. All right. Bye, little Diddy. So the card of the day, I went with my Consciousness Cosmic deck. I actually pulled 2 cards today. The Orion Releasing. So the Orions, they've had this powerful transformation, probably the most dramatic of all of the galactic races, I should say, or beings. From the pain of separation they found kind of redemption and in connection. Sorry about that. I thought I turned my phone off, not on. There. So there's a lot of drama in the trauma on the earth and their soul healing. I think a lot of us are going through this. Even Star Wars, that was kind of this story played out, as well as the story of Christ, but it's been shifted a little bit, right? But the core of the Orient experience was this powerlessness of victimhood or shame, kind of this dominion. And the harm actually magnified that essence. So within the information, there's this deeper, authentic truth that expands life through the free will choice, unconditional compassion. And really, it's the universal flow that initiates new creation. So their energy is actually powerful. They're a catalyst for change. Their courage to heal is really assisting humanity to grow into a natural connection that elevates all of life on the earth plane. So we often resist painful energies that are really, they are kind of a message to a path of improvement. I just did a divination the other day and pain came up, and pain is like totally an alert signal in the body. Even if you fall down, there's a message there. But even like soil, if you ever like nurture the ground, soil, when we clean the soil, aerate it, whatever, we clean it up. So then the soil itself is kind of richer. So the Orients kind of assist us in becoming clear, a clearer vessel for the joy, actually the authenticity, my go-to words that we can create in the physical realm. So this energy of releasing or transforming kind of is this profound way that we can work with our own inner empowerment, just allowing divinity or our divine nature to kind of bloom and blossom forward, open up, if you will, expanding. This expansion is really kind of this next step in the process of opening up to a shifting a gear, I guess, ascension. So, within our courage and clarity, life is always supporting us towards growth, just like nature. But what's curious is this card, Scarcity, they understood that life is this co-creative, cohesive experience with the whole. It's not like a standstill of aloneness. So scarcity really began with the seed of feeling separate. And alignment with the whole, the galactic frontier, opens us up to abundance as an entire kind of universal force of love. The love field kind of supports our innate desires, where humans became kind of disillusioned with the opposition to the cycles of life, even the cycles of the seasons, right? If you stay in the flow of the seasons. So when you feel kind of lackluster in your life or just lack in your life, you're generally focused on the times when the answer was no. The benevolent answer, the positive answer was no. People don't like being told no, right? So when it was another time really where you were ready to shine, or when you were desiring from lack rather than from expansion. So we're kind of in this explosion, if you will, or I don't know if that's the right word, but expansion. So all creation is allowed, for this unconditionality of source energy. So we make the choice to create with either love or fear, but the universe is abundant, it's infinite. So this card is a reminder for us to literally release our scarcity. It takes a lot of patience and awareness to really maintain a positive focus while also still being in reality and realistic with our own personal needs. So, this universe creates continuously. There's no lack of resource for everybody to live in a abundant, healthy kind of living space and life. So our work is to kind of patiently release and have more healthy perspectives and receive, which is actually the energy of Libra, to open up and receive. So the solution forms within an environment, and it actually nurtures the growth that resides within us, within our beingness. So the light language in the card, for me, it looks like it says gel. I don't know why, Gel, which is gelling, I guess, right? But it's to improve our understanding of the abundance of the universe, even with the temporary nature of our physical realm right now. So it's opening us up to our own inner knowing or a knowledge of our own creative ability, where we can actually find a village of, supporting friends or activities that our heart enjoys that we're singing our own personal song with. So it's just about being patient and diligent in improving our perspective, going to a higher mountaintop view, an overall view of a perspective, and utilizing gratitude to transform our understanding of what abundance actually is. So, support from others that want improvement. So, it's just better if we support in our village, right? So, the competition is actually released. We actually are nurturing and assisting. And we can use nature, music, animals, or any kind of creativity to focus on feeling positive. So, a mantra for scarcity would be like, I receive and I create my abundance. Just syncing those both together. And then the other card I pulled, there we go, believe it or not, power of all things. And actually, I think I've pulled this card before, or I've pulled the Lyran card quite often. But they're like the physical trek. They have this culminated human experience. So it's this polarity expression in our experience, if you will. So healing the duality of the separation that's embedded into all of their beingness. That's kind of what they represent. So it's transcending the duality. That's kind of the access key to their evolution. And they also learned this through like the deeper separations that spanned galactic cultures and lifetimes. So the lessons that their energy offers us is a deeper seed of awareness that connects the physical to our pure, authentic potential. So when we become aware or conscious, we really begin to change or shift actually more rapidly and, more importantly, more consciously. We're hyper aware. So it might seem like we're, resistant, or we are resisting, or we can stay the same, but we've already initiated the change. So that's just the next step in progression, the process. So here, you could have growth, decay, just depending on our own flow with our own personal duality in that experience. But the card power has been, this like highly misunderstood, and it's often a word that gets misused, I sense. Power, generally we think of it as being power from something else or from another person, but the Lyrans experienced like a lot of deep trauma from that mistake in itself. So healing, it's difficult, and it was difficult then, but it's also what transformed their evolution. So we're kind of at this paradigm where it's shifting first within ourselves, and then actually society shifts as well. So when you love yourself, you can understand that anything perceived as a flaw or a mistake, a misstep, was actually an opportunity to strengthen your own personal love, open that corridor. And when you don't fear yourself or life, you are really in your own power. You are powerful. So the card is actually reminding us that our power stems from within our beingness. And when outside circumstances are controlling that web of how we feel, we're not empowered at all. And when you accept yourself and the circumstances surrounding your life or in your life, and you're in an open, kind of relaxed state in order to change, change is always occurring. Nothing's at a standstill. So our choice is how kind of we deal with those outer worldly experiences internally. And that's authentically our true power. So, love opens us to these win-win solutions. They can't be imagined from a state of worry or resistance or even fear within ourselves. So the language of this card is actually assisting us to kind of discover our own true meaning of power from a perspective or the eyes of love. And it's opening us to our divine creative nature as we become empowered to create a new future, not just for ourselves, but out into the other outer corridor. So our divinity, our divine state is innate to each and every one of us. It's really not earned. We have this inside of us. So all choices that we make serve the higher good, and others' negativity is really about themselves. It's not about us. And when we love, everything shifts, everything's transformed. It's just like you keep pouring love on the chalice, not too much love, because sometimes you can overwater a plant, right? And then the roots get soggy. That's a whole nother issue. So even if we don't get to see how it manifests, we can still have that flow in the narrative to shift somebody's life. So love itself is truly is the power that transforms life, the true power. So it's a great day really to transform how we feel in equality, being fair, being neutral, opening up our love channel to our heart's desires and higher beliefs. So an affirmation for today would be something like, I am in my peace, I am in my joy, syncing my feelings with my heart to upcycle my beliefs, my story, especially the ones that are absolutely no longer serving you. So thanks for tuning in. And as always, I will see you on the other side. I'm about to also go live with Tavia on Walk the Talk. So yeah, be sure to check that out as well. And as always, blessings to you.